Hey everybody, on today's video, I'm going to be dropping 7 keys to consider when making a great purchase for clothing for reselling purposes. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Now this list isn't in any type of order, but I'm gonna go ahead and kick off this list with something we all care about, which is the price of the item. If a price is way too high or outside of my range where I'm comfortable with a certain amount of profit, I'll leave that product behind. That's why it's best to do your own research. Go into eBay, look at the actives, look at the solds, and then make a decision based on what you've seen. I've seen some resellers pay way too much for an item where they're only making $1 or $2 at the end of the day, or they're losing on the whole transaction itself. And I'm guilty of this as well. In my early reselling days, I took so many L's. So do your own research and make sure the price that you're paying for that item leaves you a good room for profit on your investment. Key number 2, brands. If you've watched any of my Bolo videos, you would know that there's certain brands that I pick up with no questions asked. Brands like Fury, Marine Layer, Kodo Patsy, just to name a few. There are brands out there that just sell, and they sell for the high. Now there are some brands I don't pick up as often as I used to. For example, Lululemon. A year ago, I could sell any piece of Lululemon for at least $30. Now, I'm a little picky. I'll pick up their hoodies, their jackets, not so much the leggings anymore, as the price on those have gone down. And you get good with brands with experience. And sometimes it's just common sense. A Polo Ralph Lauren quarter zip sweater is going to sell. A Sheen sweater probably won't. Key number 3, materials. You can find a Gap sweater made of wool, cashmere, and you can bet that those will sell better and at a higher premium than one that's just made of cotton. I pay very close attention to the materials tag. I look for materials like linen, silk, the cashmeres, and the wools. And that's why checking the materials tag is so important. A brand that you've never heard of containing cashmere or linen could be worth more than a very popular brand that only contains cotton. Key number 4, patterns. One thing I always pay attention to when sourcing for resale is the pattern on the clothing. Patterns can make a huge difference in how quickly the item sells. Aztec, florals, Hawaiian designs, those will sell much quicker than just a basic solid t-shirt. When I'm thrifting, I just don't look at a logo. I ask myself, will this item catch someone's attention? If the answer is yes, I'm picking up that item. Key 5, style. Fashion trends change all the time, and the style of a piece can make a huge difference in how quickly an item sells. Take jeans, for example. Right now, wide leg, baggy, and relaxed fit jeans are more in style than skinny jeans or slim fit jeans. That doesn't mean that slim fit jeans never sell. It just means that buyers are right now actively searching for wide-legged jeans versus the slim fit jeans. So pay attention to the style, because what's trending right now will make the difference for a quick flip and what sits in your inventory for months. Key 6, vintage versus modern. Just because 2 pieces are from the same brand doesn't mean they're worth the same amount. Take Adidas, for example. A modern Adidas hoodie or jacket may sell for $15 to $25, but a vintage 90s Adidas track jacket with the Trefoil logo can go for a significant amount of money, because collectors and vintage clothing buyers are actively looking for those older pieces. Vintage pieces are harder to find, have unique designs, and provide a level of nostalgia that modern clothing just doesn't provide. Now that doesn't mean that every vintage piece is desirable or worth a lot of money, but when I have a modern piece versus a vintage piece, I'm definitely giving the vintage piece a closer look. Key number 7, sell-through rate. One of the biggest things I consider before making a purchase for resale is the sell-through rate versus the willingness to hold. Not every good item sells quickly. Some pieces can bring great resale profit, but they may take 6 months to a year to sell. For example, if I find a really rare vintage jacket with high resale value, I'm usually more willing to let it sit because I know it will sell to the right buyer. On the other hand, if it's an item with a slow sell-through rate with really low profit, I'm going to pass on that item. I'd rather use that money in storage space on an item that will sell quickly. Reselling isn't just about buying valuable items. It's about buying items that fits your business model. Some sellers want a fast, quick flip, while other sellers don't mind waiting for a bigger profit. Key number 8, size. Last but definitely not least is the size of the clothing piece. Size XL and up and plus sizes demand more of a premium than a size extra small or small. And the bigger pieces also have a higher sell-through rate than small pieces. It's really weird how that is, but most of the population is of a bigger size rather than a smaller size, so there's gonna be more demand for those items. In the past, I have come across band tees that were a size small that I thought I would get about $50 to $60 for, and ultimately just ended up getting about $20 because of the small size. Now, just because it's a size small doesn't mean I'm gonna leave it on the rack. If it's a designer brand such as a Burberry shirt or a Supreme shirt, I'll go ahead and pick that up. That's gonna bring us to the end of the video. If you're still watching, be sure to hit that like button and let me know down in the comments what are some things that you consider before making a purchase for resale. That's gonna be it, you guys. Again, thank you. I'll see you on the next one. See ya.